Right, just cut that short because we're ready to go. So get rid of that intro. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. Howdy. Obviously, thank you all for joining us today. Who's here so far? We've got Nick. Anyone else that's in the chat, let me know. Get your comments in. But we do have Justin back. Obviously, Justin's not been on the stream for a few weeks now. He's back on. It's great to see you, mate. Thank you for coming back.
And the crypto market hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Literally, nothing's happened.
I mean, it looks like maybe Bitcoin, obviously, with a little bit of a push here, we could maybe come and clear up all this, which is just obviously begging, isn't it, to be all cleaned up to the left-hand side here. I don't know. Maybe if we break through.
Yeah, I have it coming down to 106, call it. But then you've also got the moving average 4 hour around about 105.4. So who knows? It's all big news day today, Dave. So I'm expecting some unbelievably mental stuff going on later on.
What we have.
So we've got the Bank of England, Bank of Japan, and PAL all speaking at 2:30, and then you've got ISN and Jolts at 3.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Yeah, there's some sort of ECB meeting, isn't there, in Portugal or something going on anyway. Probably discussing some way to fuck us even more, but you know, there we have it. Anyone who's not filled up the stocks and shares ISA for this financial year might want to do so fast before Rachel Reeves comes for your gains. Jeff, how are we doing? Great to see you. You went short yesterday at stream. I didn't know, mate. No, I had a limit short on. I had a limit order, which didn't trigger. Justin needs to pay the fee. Raw. Oh, yeah. Jeff wants you to raw. Do your best raw.
That's raw?
Yeah, we made. I think it was it last week? Or it might have been the week before. We was making Safe with Crypto raw on stream.
Tell you what, I'll do it as soon as Bitcoin hits. Well, not even Bitcoin. I would like Bitcoin to hit an all-time high, and particularly like to go Bitcoin to 120k, because then hopefully at that point, Bitcoin dominance might actually drop, and we might actually see some life in some altcoins. Till then, at that point, I will do as many animal noises as you want.
Oh, Yeah, give your best raw. We got Wiz in the chat. How we doing? I'm good, mate. I'm good. Great to see you, Wizzo. Austin, how you doing? Don't think I've ever seen you in the chat before. Calling it Stonksy. I don't know if that's a spelling mistake or if that's on purpose. If it is, thank you very much for your comment anyway, Austin. Please do make sure you subscribe. Brucey, good day to you. We bullish or bearish? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. It's on the beach at the moment, isn't it? It's on the beach. If Justin doesn't roll, we need a poll to fire him. Never. Don't be like that, Jeff. Don't be like that, Jeff.
I'm whimpering in the corner. That'll be my next animal noise, whimpering in the corner.
Yeah. Have you seen that that bird that is just completely going viral at the moment? I can't remember what it's called, but it's one that just literally doesn't look real. It's people keep saying it looks like an animatronic. It's a crazy looking bird. Let me see if I can find it. Was on a David Attenborough, David Attenborough's like docu series that he does. It was on one of them, I believe, at some point, but I think it's been moved, like, or one of its kind has been moved to like this zoo, and it's just like completely everywhere now. It's a crazy looking bird. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. What's it called now? Like, blue dinosaur looking bird. I'm guessing this is going to be it. No, that's not it. This one, yeah, shoebill. This is it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a wild looking bird. I mean, on there, I don't think you can like really see the scale of it, but I think the thing is absolutely massive. Yeah, here it is. Absolutely strange looking bird. Shoebill. Let me try and get a better picture of it.
I love it though.
Here it is. Yeah, look at it. It almost just doesn't look real.
It looks like some kind of pterodactyl or something.
Yeah. It looks absolutely crazy. I mean, the way it moves and just like the complete look on its face.
I'll tell you what's crazy and moves funny is you want to have a look at gold today. Jesus Christ.
Really? Let's pull it up. Oh yeah, look at that. 1.64%. Wow. What's been going on in the world to give that the good old rifling that it's had?
Personally, what I think it is, Dave, is just preparing for the news, stacking the news like ready for the news later. And
yeah.
Then it will nuke.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's obviously a good rifling. I think we took a look at gold on the monthly. On the monthly. We just took a look at gold in general the other day. And it's obviously cooling off very nicely, hasn't it? Just doing its, doing its sideways thing. But yeah, I mean, I wonder what has silver been doing? Has silver been doing anything while? I have got silver on here somewhere. Yeah, let's pull silver up. Hang on, let me drag silver to the top. Let's pull it all the way up. Has silver been doing much? No, so silver's been consolidating as well.
I only ever look at gold, so I don't really ever look at silver.
Yeah. It's chugging away towards its it's still yet to break its all-time high, obviously, where gold has. But it has had a great sugar, this year so far.
The thing is, you look across the board. If you look at the gold, silver, you look at DXY is absolutely been bottom pumped. DXY.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we got Bitcoin. Obviously, still waiting for it, aren't we, to do anything of relevance. So we've not got much change from yesterday, apart from obviously it's 0.6% down today. Some altcoins are getting a bit of a kick in. The one I did want to cover actually was ARB, because ARB obviously had a lot of scammy movement this week. It got this huge pump on Sunday. Pumped up, And then obviously it got announced yesterday that Robinhood will be building their own layer 2 or doing something on Arbitrum. So it seems like this got obviously front run. I don't know how or whether this was even a different separate bit of news. I don't know. But in terms of, looking at altcoins, this has definitely been the most volatile over the last few days. Big obviously pump up and then dump down. But just looking through there, you can see there's not really much going on. Things down a handful of percent at the most, it seems. Nothing too crazy. Not that I can see anyway, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, obviously Bitcoin down. Looking like obviously it's gonna go and hunt some downside liquidity. But we do have, S&P and Nasdaq closed their highest ever monthly candles, as did Bitcoin actually, which is worth noting. Bitcoin closed its highest ever monthly candle yesterday. So while it's boring and stuff, it's still making some, some good metrics. Obviously, tech just completely leading the way. Yeah. But apart from that, I mean, what have you been up to? So give us a little summary, mate. Well, I think it must be about 3 weeks since you've last been on.
Well, I was ill for a little bit.
What's been going on in the life of Justin?
Covered, and then just been doing some stuff around the house as well. So outside of that, and sweltering, we were talking about the temperature difference between north and south in the UK earlier.
Yeah, I could not believe it.
So Dave's relatively chilly, well, not chilly, but moderate. 19, did you say?
19. Yeah.
I'm sweltering in 35 degrees.
So you must have, obviously, because we've had, to be fair, we have had good weather for probably about at least a month now.
Very nice. But it's weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
This is the best it's been since COVID.
Yeah, where you are at the, given the distance, you must have had like just pure like Spain, Greek weather down there.
It's been below 20 odd degrees for weeks.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Up where I am, it reached like 27 yesterday, and that was really nice. But I tell you what, across this whole time period of this nice weather we've not been above 30 where I am yet, not once.
Oh,
we've got to late 20s, but we've not been into the 30s yet.
It's utterly disgusting.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I jumped in the pool at one point, cooled down, came in. We've been renovating one of the rooms in our house, so then the good lady wife had me transporting some furniture to the bedroom. And
lovely.
I was sweaty again after that. Even at 6 o'clock this morning, walking the dogs was just. Alas, it gets cooler tomorrow.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
What's the vibe with everyone that's watching? Are people bullish or bearish in general? Not regarding crypto.
What?
Are we bullish crypto or are we bearish?
Yeah, let us know in the chat.
Selling May and go away nonsense, did we?
Yeah, no, didn't get any of that. I don't actually think that's even a thing, to be honest. I don't think that's actually even a thing. It's just got a nice rhyme, hasn't it?
Well, what I said to you earlier, Dave, if you look at the different indices, so obviously the ES1 is an all-time high, SPX all-time high, but then you look at we had an equal or closer high on the FTSE, but that's rejecting. The Nikkei was getting close, rejecting. The DAX close but rejected. So it's quite clear that capital, after that big pullback we had in April, that capital is rotating back into the US assets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what Trump has been saying about the US is strong. He's actually factually correct.
Yeah, I mean, you can't argue with it, can you? The rebound that they've had. straight to new highs. It's pretty remarkable. So, I mean, he said, didn't he, they would have a roaring stock market, and he crashed it, but it's rebounded so hard, it's unbelievable. So you just can't argue with it. Wiz says he's disinterested. Afternoon Discipline, how we doing? Wiz also says he's eyeing up a play on Amazon. Not without me. Don't you dare. Let me get in at the same time as you little devil.
What's up, Wiz?
Yeah, you little devil. Don't do it without us. Don't do it without us. But, I mean, yeah, so far, obviously, we're yet to get any decent push-up on Bitcoin, while everything else is moving. So, yeah, I mean, altcoins, they are still being put to the sword a bit, aren't they? Some of them don't look too bad, and then some of them look horrendous. It's like there's just a really big contrast, isn't there? You've got ones that don't look too bad, and then you've got ones that are just completely horrendous and look just like a diabolical image on the screen. Where do you both see Amazon going next couple of weeks? Wiz says.
Should we have a look?
We'll have a look. Do you want me to put you on, mate?
Put me on. Let me find Amazon. Where am I? Stocks.
There you go.
Amazon.
You're on.
We're on. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Amazon. Definitely pushing again, isn't it? What sort of time frame do you normally chart these on, Dave, when you're looking at this? Because I only look at stocks from a investing standpoint rather than the trading, because you get so many of these gaps. Just annoy me to try and chart it out.
I mean, whatever one suits you, daily, weekly.
Yeah. So
whatever. I mean, I think probably Wiz is maybe hinting. What is he looking at? So he's looking at some options around 225. It's not actually even that far away, is it?
Nah. Well, straight away, I would say that we have gained this level of support here.
Yeah.
So we gained that yesterday, which we're retesting now. So I'm guessing. So 225, it's not a big move from where we are. If it retests probably this level, is that 3% push? Something like that? 3.5% push?
Yeah.
So it depends where are you looking to get in? Wizard Evolves.
Yeah, Wiz, where are you looking to get in? And what are you doing with it? Are you doing options again? It'd be great to know.
Yeah.
It'd be great to know what he's doing. The Wizard of Stocks. Still need to change your name as well, mate.
Well, we need signals.
We need it, yeah. We need information.
Let's have a more. Yeah, to me, as long as we're above this blue line daily, we're kind of gained. But I don't really know how we. See, when you get these gaps, I don't like these gaps that especially on the weekly, that need to be filled.
Yeah.
So what would that be like? There's there, but the fact that we gained this level looks up to me. To me, in general, it feels like obviously Musk and Trump are back to being at loggerheads with one another, which are still.
Did you see what he said yesterday?
It was hilarious. It was just
the Porky Pig Party. What a guy!
Yeah,
what a guy!
He's literally just chucked it as a bucket of I don't care. I will say what I want, and the cynic in me says it's all choreographed and done for a reason.
Yeah.
But what that reason is, no idea. They're setting something up. And whether it is like there's a new party that's going to come to fruition, because you've got to think when Trump first started running, he was running as an independent. He didn't have affiliation to Republicans or the Democrats, and then obviously the Republicans took him in. But yeah. So anyway, Amazon. What's Wiz said?
He's looking for 225 up to 235. He's got options on him.
Yeah, it makes sense once you kind of.
Now we've got Wiz. We have got Wiz coming on the stream on Thursday, where we can get a deep explanation of obviously how you trade and manage all this stuff. Because me personally, I've never touched options once. Never tried trade. I understand CFDs now. I've got a better understanding on trading them. At first, I didn't. I thought, what am I doing here? But now, yeah,
what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. I was like, what is going on? I opened them and I didn't even know how to close them. And then it turned out I was opening, instead of like closing them, I was opening short ones instead. And I was like, what is going on here? But I've got a better understanding of it now. But options is just completely foreign to me. So it should be interesting to see that from you, Wizzo. Obviously, we could just ask Rock, but why not ask the legend and obviously Wizard of Stock himself?
The Wizard of Stock.
Yeah.
So
Crypto Bro and Delta, how we doing? You legends. And Crypto Bro says, I want my long at 106.239 to hit. Hopefully a market open dip, then rally.
On what ticker?
Bitcoin. 106.239 he's looking.
106.23. So the reason, so my rationale, let's quickly change the label date here. July, not the over. So for me personally, looking at this, I think, just get rid of all of this stuff. So they are, I'm sure some people will be looking at this going, we're going to get this pattern.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty certain that that's going to be what a lot of people are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, I'm as long as, where are we? On the, so as long as we're over this point on the weekly close, and the daily close, this is bullish, and it's just, you can just see the fuckery with how much liquidity is building here.
Yeah.
So I personally am looking at this and thinking, so we had this purple box was the price void that we had. So we've been filling in this price void here, and I'm then looking at this so we've had this range that kind of sat here. Now we've had the liquidation to the upside, which I think is going to cause our liquidation to the downside, and hopefully the push out the range. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm expecting this high here to be retested. I'm sure that there's a CME gap. Someone was saying the other day that, like, let's find that CME chart.
There is. I think it's down at 10. Actually, have we not closed it?
No, there was another one. So.
Oh yes, it's down to 106.295 on the CME.
Yes.
Yeah, 106.295 on the CME, but obviously there is a bit of a premium on the CME compared to actual exchanges. So
I've got an alert set for that, but I'm expecting somewhere between this high and this moving average, somewhere in here, that we liquidate into, and then hopefully that will be the energy required to move us up a range.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? It's just the thing is, Bitcoin makes sense. I was mentioning the DXY earlier. I don't know if you looked at that at all, Dave. But DXY has lost this level now.
Yeah.
So this is going to continue bleeding down. Obviously, normally, if the DXY is weakening, then crypto is going up. Now, Bitcoin, yes, very much reflects that. The rest of all coins, as you mentioned, are beyond miserable. I don't even. It's just. They're on the lowest of the low of the low. It's just miserable to look at. What was the one that got absolutely terrible? I was looking at them, Celestia.
Yeah, this one. We looked at this, I think, yesterday. I think we looked at it. This one literally just has no bottom, does it? There is literally no bottom for this.
Nah. But the thing is, so if you want my personal opinion, you look at this distribution channel that we're creating here. It's kind of coming down here.
Mm-hmm.
If this was the other way round, you'd be going, right, at some point, and this is my personal view of what's going to happen, where a lot of these have been crushed so badly, and everyone's going, right, I'm not touching that, or I'm going to wait for it to, like up here, to regain some support levels. There's no reason for a lot of these coins now to even stop in these ranges, because the price has like been in there. So I wouldn't be surprised that at some point we just go like this, and no pullbacks, no anything, and just put in a move, and everyone like every day like 50% kind of thing, and just not give anyone a chance to get in. Because why else would it continue being like this? Jesus, gold is just not stopping.
Well, the thing is, I think, they should have money, shouldn't they? This, I think it was a well-backed, well-funded project. You're right in what you're saying. You break that channel. It's just,
There's so many
awful to look at, aren't they? Yeah, they're awful to look at.
It is awful to look at. I mean, some of them look better than others, but some people are going to go. I've not looked at these for ages, because I can't bring myself to look at crypto because it's just the shit show it's in. But you're going to get the trend line traders doing that with a breakout. But you look at a lot of these, and the price has been in these areas. So anywhere price has been, you don't necessarily therefore need to stay there. So I can just see moves just doing straight up and just give nobody a chance to get into the trade stop. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Which would probably come obviously on a Bitcoin breakout, wouldn't it?
Yes. Well, my personal view is, where are we now? So, if we go from here to where we are now, what we got? 14% move, quite possible.
It's not that far at all, is it? I mean, it must only be about 5% to all-time high for me. It can't be far at all. And we are close. It's just obviously with the nature of the sideways action, just really demotivates people, doesn't it? Because it's kind of just like, when is it going to happen?
Well, my personal view is for anyone that's looking for alts, the next move, I think we need to push up here somewhere. So 120 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Then and only then do I believe that Bitcoin dominance tops out and we actually get some form of pullback. Because until then, it's just not showing any signs of abating. So I would be, if you're trading altcoins, continue to exercise caution. Do use a stop loss. Do use risk management.
Yeah, it's got one more leg on it. Bitcoin dominance. It's got one more push up to go because obviously it's got to break out again, where obviously most of the money will be funneled into Bitcoin. So it's got one more push up. You would hope anyway, and then that will be like the kind of blow off top.
They all just look. Some of these projects are just obliterated. They all look the same because dominance is so high, so it just gets manipulated all the same. I'm not terribly bullish right now. I am bullish, but not on all coins until they do their thing, until you get some kind of decent move.
We've got Cryptogenic saying smash the like button. We've got Black Worm saying, why is TMG putting on a Manc accent in disguise? There's a few things to clear up there, Black Worm. Thank you very much for joining us. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. I'm not TMG, for one. Just to clear that up. TMG is the owner of Stonksy, but he doesn't present the daily live stream. I do. And it's not a Manc accent. That's interesting thing that you've picked up there. But yeah, it's not a Manc accent. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Wiz says, send this up so I can sell. And he says, Peak is interesting, but not doing anything sizable. I haven't looked there. Yeah, Peak. You mentioned Peak, didn't you, the other day?
What's Peak? Is that another stock?
Peak is actually crypto. Oh, look at SLF there. Wow. That's another one I've not looked at in a good long while.
But the thing is, again, you look at this, right?
Where is that now? What price is that? I can't see it because of my camera.
Just under 8 cents.
Wow.
So,
obviously, for anyone watching, this used to be Front, and I think Front went to a couple dollars, didn't it?
Yeah. So, if you looked at this and went, right, this is decent. What looks like accumulation range with the liquidation here.
Yeah.
And you had just gone, yes, I like this. This looks like it's preparing to kind of do this kind of move. And then just, I mean, this is not a rubbish token. This is a good project. And it's just getting bled into oblivion. So, so again, I can just see it at some point, just going, see you later, because it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to stop in this range.
Mm-hmm.
Price has been here, so it doesn't need to stop there. So maybe at the bottom of these candles, you might get a pullback. Or at least,
I mean, you would like to hope it would be near capitulation because who still has tokens left to sell during that downtrend? Like, surely whoever wants to sell is sold now or is close to being out. And that goes for a lot of them, doesn't it? You know, a lot of them that look similar. If anyone is holding tokens for that, they must either be just obviously prepared to hold it all the way back up, or obviously they won't be holding tokens and will have capitulated, you would imagine. But then again, obviously you just don't know, do you?
Nah, I mean,
you do not know.
But you look at that and you just go, what do you do with it? It's literally going to be I'm not even gonna touch that chart, Dave. I'm gonna leave that as is, and just to kind of
wait and see.
But it'll literally do this kind of thing. Maybe then like a bit of a consolidation, and then just go again, and just won't allow people to get in the trade.
Yeah.
That's, or depends whether you're trading it or buying it, but that's that one. What else was I looking at? Vanry. I was talking to Zane about this, but again, look, what do you do with that?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? They're in a very difficult spot, and I think with a lot of these, you know, I don't think many people would have expected the bloodbath that we've had.
No,
because it has just been continuing now for about 7 months. You know, obviously, 6-7 months. It's just been pretty much down only with some bounces. You know, with some bounces, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, there are some strong ones. You know, like obviously, Say has been great the past week or so. Obviously, Hype has had its rally and retained a lot of its value. RV remains strong, and there's probably a few others out there as well that I can't think of off the top of my head. Obviously, I know some memes have retraced the loss of their pump, but obviously remain pretty decently up still from the bottom.
But the thing is, on this, like, where you personally, Dave, where would you have traded that? Because you wouldn't have traded this bit, I'd assume. Obviously, I'm on a weekly here.
No, I'll
trade this. The retest.
Let me pull. I'll pull up. Hang on, because we did look at Say ages and ages and ages ago. Let me just pull up. So I'll just swap over to mine quickly. So this is where actually we was looking on stream. Now I will just say I did not trade this. I didn't buy any. None of the glory can be taken because I didn't put it into action. But when we was looking at Say, this was kind of the kind of end zone bit that we was looking at, and it did actually come into there obviously in April. Now obviously again didn't nibble on it, nothing. And then I think obviously this was long term what I had drew out, obviously in a really good scenario. But since then we've not really looked at it apart from obviously the low time frame pumps it's had. But that was one area that we was looking at. It did probably actually. I'm pretty sure we did have another level drew up here, and obviously it just. I think it was around here, and it just ended up obviously smashing all the way through it. But I mean, yeah, you know, you kind of with something like this, obviously you could have bought the pullback here, couldn't you? You know, in hindsight. But I think with a lot of these that have bounced, like same for Hype, you know, we could pull Hype up here. If we pull Hype up, you kind of got one chance to buy, and then that was it. You know, you was either then just chase one chance to buy here at $10, and then that's it. You're chasing the move then.
Yeah, but again, that $10 when that came down. Do you remember when that was?
Yeah, that was around obviously all the stock uncertainty when the tariffs and then indices were absolutely nuking.
I'm sure that wasn't that the one where there was that the dexes were, or there was the guy that was trading some kind of meme coin, and it was such a large positional size that they had that it was potentially going to eat the whole liquidity of Hype.
No, that was this, I think, or this.
Was it?
Yeah, because if you look, so that was on the 6th and the 7th of April, and then if you look at Bitcoin, that was obviously where Bitcoin bottomed here. 6th, 7th, obviously Bitcoin then obviously had 8th and 9th. I think unless it occurred at the same time, maybe it occurred at the same time, I can't remember, but it lined up obviously similarly obviously with everything else bottoming during this time of when Bitcoin slammed down to 74, 75k. 6th, 7th. Unless, and I don't know if anyone's got a good memory, let us know if you remember around what price hype went down to on that.
Can you
But I do remember that, yeah. I remember that.
I can't remember what the token was called, but it
Jelly
was
Jelly.
Jelly, that
It was Jelly Jelly. Yeah, it was Jelly Jelly. And obviously, yeah, if it went to like, because it did like a 4, 5, 6x, didn't it? And then it was like if it went to $180 million market cap or something, and it was at 50 at the time or something stupid, it would have liquidated the whole hyperliquid pool and or something. Yeah. I can't remember. But Wiz says Pengu and Fartcoin. Yeah, Pengu has done actually really well, I think, over the past week as well. I think some memes have done well. Hype and Aero did well for me. Yeah, Aero's another one that's done well, but he's got some rotten alts. Yeah, Aero. You can go back to yours if you want, mate, if you want to carry running through.
Yeah, hold on. There's just, to me, I just don't see the point in any altcoins at the moment. It's just like, what would you buy? I'm personally not trading it. I'm not buying anything until Bitcoin goes to 120k and we get some kind of rotation or sign of a hard rejection from dominance. I'm not touching any alts. I'm not touching crypto at all. It's just asking to be murdered.
Yeah. Patty Wish says it was just a few days before the tariffs with that incident with Hyperliquid. So yeah, it was around the same time. So I don't know, but yeah, whatever caused it to bottom. It's had a superb run and it ended up doing over a 4x in the end. So definitely one of the better performers.
I don't like some of these coins. Everything's just, Ton just about holding on.
SMFC says, I invested, in quotation marks, some money this morning. And what did you put it into, SMFC? Please let us know. You got us on the edge of our seat now saying that.
Yeah.
What have you threw it into?
It's terrible.
Bought a watch. Nice. Yeah, nice. I rate it. What watch was it? What watch did you buy? I rate it highly.
You bought a watch? I sold one.
Have you?
Yeah.
What did you sell?
I sold.
Ooh. Oh, it's a big boy watch. it's a big boy watch, that.
I had
SMFC bought a Tago remake of the old 1980s F1 watch.
I sold this one.
Oh, very nice. That's a nice looking one, that, isn't it?
Very heavy.
For being a watch person, are you more of, you like the modern day ones, or you also like the older?
I like ones? Some of the classics, but on the basis that I don't really go anywhere anymore, and it's just kind of, there was some that I'm divesting. I'm also divested some properties, or in the process of just changing. The only good thing about watches is it's deemed a luxury item, and therefore it's very tax efficient. Yeah, if you're using it from that standpoint. But properties, I'm selling my properties, some more properties, because it's just the UK is just basically killing everyone and everything money-wise.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, you can sell them now, can't you? And then, you can still yield like 4% on the cash if you wanted to, if you just wanted to park it. So, you don't have to deal with with any of the management, and you could still yield yourself a decent return.
Well, the thing is, property-wise, you've got all the hassle of actually owning it and then having to deal with the tenants and all that. I've got a management company that does it for me, but it's a pain in the backside.
Yeah.
And property prices down here are not moving that much. And the government changed it. So I run mine for a company. If you run them as personally, then in general, you used to only pay tax, or the only taxable difference was the costs, including any mortgage and stuff, minus the rent minus the cost, which is what you got taxed on. Whereas now, it gets taxed on the full rent.
Does it? Yeah. Yeah. So that's just another knife to the side in it of.
So anyone
looking to make any money in the UK, is just literally just fucking every single person over as much as possible.
I'm not making it very conducive for people to.
They have got no idea what they're doing. They've just got no idea. Absolute clown show. Absolute clown show it is. But yeah, I mean, speaking of clown shows, moving on to more altcoins.
Back in the world of crypto. Yes. Good project, right? This is Sui based, isn't it? But
yeah, so this is the one that had the issue, wasn't it? As well, this had an issue. Not too long ago. I think that was the big old juicy red candle. A good few weeks ago now. I think that had an issue. But again, it's back to a starting point, and it's come back to that origin of the rally that it had. And then it does have obviously that consolidation zone below, which is not too far away. If things get a little bit nasty, you would like to obviously think it would hold in there. Wiz says Trump and a zero. So you long Trump and a zero. Wiz says.
Here's another one that's
Burger swap.
Burger. Ugh. It's just. Has anyone got any altcoins that they go, yes, this is fabulous, we should be invested in this?
Let me know. Has anyone, obviously, for the altcoin side, has anyone actually had any real winners recently? I know, obviously, Wiz will say Hypernero. Yeah, they've done fantastic, but maybe ones that we've not already looked at. Has anyone had any winners where, obviously, trading aside, I mean, actual spot gains? Has anyone had anywhere, you've actually been able to get a decent yield on a spot holding of recent? Do let us know. Yeah, I think Pengu's one. You got Pengu right there, haven't you? I think Pengu's one that's been doing good. Obviously, the past week or so. Obviously, retraced that full downside sell off there with that last week candle.
So, what my problem is with a lot of these, because everything's been driven down so badly.
Yeah.
All this is done. How many people, true investors, are accumulating here or holding anywhere that's not probably up this kind of range? Mm-hmm. Who's holding it? Who has this supply here? And it will be the original team, and it will be the market makers. So the market makers have just basically accumulated all this cheap supply. And then they can, if they want to, just go do what the hell they want. So, and not allow people to get in.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with crypto right now, is just, it's too controlled, too manipulated by the big boys. And the other week when we got that flush on everything, that was exchange driven, And we apart from unless you're on hyperliquid, everyone's putting their volume for exchanges. But the exchanges have all your information. They know everyone's liquidation points, and then occasionally they'll just go, "See you later," and just flush the whole lot of it. You cannot do anything about it whatsoever. But, and it is a big but, at some point in time, and hopefully not too distant future, they have got to provide some green for people and to get people hooked again, because at the moment the general sentiment across the board, everyone's like completely downtrodden, disheartened by crypto. So I'd imagine trading volumes are diminishing, maybe. And obviously that's not good for a fee generating business that needs volume.
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at Bitcoin, and you know, for over two thirds of June, it was stuck within a 3-4% range.
Yeah.
For two thirds of the month, it traded, and most of the time, it wasn't actually in that. Most of the time for June, it was within a 1 to 2% range.
Well, you actually look at the candles, the closes, like I know this is obviously to go back through June, but we're tightening into real key ranges here, and you can see the liquidity that's building with the wicks. That's fantastic. I've had this box on my chart for ages. So I'd say we've had the manipulation. Now we get hopefully the liquidation, and then we can get out of this. I just want crypto to be over. I'm done with it. And I may, after this cycle, I may never touch it again. But
aside from Bitcoin,
or if I know that I'm in a project early with some early seed rounds with good projects with decent backers.
Yeah.
And so you're in from the start, and you know where everyone's entry price is. Then you can kind of go, right, fine, I feel a bit safer here. But just generally trading, obviously the charts say, looking at Bitcoin, I still think it's tradable, I think it's investable, and it's relatively predictable. Like I said, when you go back to altcoins with less and less and less volume and liquidity on there, there's too much of it. You suddenly get down to a few 100 million market cap, 50 million market cap, or whatever it may be. And 80% of the supply is controlled by the exchanges, a few market makers, and the team. You're basically asking for your arse to be handed to you. I think it's a really tricky one. So small caps, only if I know the team, or I'm in with the team early doors. Otherwise, I'm not touching them.
So would you just singularly go into Bitcoin then, or would you? Yeah, because I think you get a full decent retrace on that. It would be hard to say no, wouldn't it?
If it goes back down in the bear market to say 30,000, then next cycle you probably got a 10x, at least. So I think it's worthwhile. Whereas everything else is just, again, even like ETH of what they've done with ETH. And now, I personally think ETH looks pretty good at the moment, of where it's at. Oops. And it's just building and coiling, and it's nice. And again, I just personally, I think they'll just go like this and just go, and just send it, and just not give anyone pullback opportunities. So I think it's basically Bitcoin, and then a couple of others that you kind of maybe consider. But I won't be going all in on alts again. I was talking to Rainier about it the other day, and Christian. If I had left my original bags that I had, and I was holding Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Cardano, Solana, if I'd have just stayed with them and not rotated into newer projects, I would have been sitting there very handsomely, and I could have probably sold at a really decent multiple, and then just bought all these altcoins at where they're at now, or just be done cycle-wise. It's astonishing how badly alts have done for me anyway.
No, I think that's the the wider view in it. Wiz says, "Come to stocks and live a peaceful life." I think the main reason Wiz likes it is because he can get on the beers on a weekend, and then he doesn't have to bother until Monday. Then, I think that's why Wiz likes it so much.
I day trade gold. I don't day trade at the moment. Not touching even my challenge account. I'm not touching the crypto side at the moment. I'm only trading gold, and I love the fact that on Friday from about 4 o'clock, I just shut everything down and do not even consider looking at the charts until Monday.
Yeah, go and jump in the pool and say thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you and good night. So it's just that side of things. It's unfortunately, I mean, gold.
I'm just gonna have to run the door, mate. Someone's at the door. Won't be a sec.
No way. So gold is not isolated from this. I mean, the levels of manipulation that you see here is sensational. I mean, look at that for a trend line, non-stop for hours. No pullbacks, just grinding up constantly. So gold is just as manipulated as anything else, I would say. What we got 19 minutes until session open. So, Wiz, are you in Trump at the moment, and Zero, or are you looking to get into it? Right. What else? Some of these all coins are. Don't touch any. So what other stocks? Are you in any other stocks, Wiz?
Right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Back.
It was Royal Mail picking a parcel.
What did you get delivered, Dave?
Nothing. They was picking something up. I sold something on eBay, and it was easier to get them to pick it up than go and drop it off myself. So, yeah, they've picked it up for me, which is good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon London or New York, Dave?
Let's see. So I put the poll up. Currently, we've got 5 votes. Do make sure you go and drop a vote on the poll. Got 18 people watching. Currently 5 votes. Go and get your vote in. Do make sure you drop a like as well. Me personally, I think let's go back to Bitcoin anyway. I think we are going to continue downwards today. I think, at least initially. I think, yeah. I mean, personally, I'm just looking. I have been looking as well for the past near week on this build up here. Just looks absolutely ripe for the taking at some point. How deep, obviously, depends, but you can just see the walk up that it had, and you just got all this ready to flush. So I think, what time is it now? We've got 15 minutes to go until US Open. Yeah, I mean, I think as well, it largely depends on Bitcoin is kind of at the mercy, isn't it, on what the indices are going to do, because while Bitcoin has not been able to gather any strength from them, if these started, and you can see again, on the S&P, obviously a lot of the S&P's rise up got filled in on this very aggressive drop that we had on Friday. But if these start tailing back off, down towards maybe 6,100, maybe even below, if they start to get a proper pullback, I think Bitcoin would definitely feel the pressure from them then, even though it's not gained any momentum from them.
Yeah.
Circle's an interesting one. Have you looked at Circle much after that had just stupid, crazy rally?
No. And this is literally USDC, right?
Yeah, the USDC issuer. What's annoying is me and Wiz were talking about it in the Stonksy Discord, and I said anywhere near 300 and I'll short it, and I forgot to set alerts, and it got to 298.99 and then just pulled back 30%. So yeah, I think in and around potentially here may be a good position to long it if you're in, if anyone was interested. Personally, I don't think I've got any interest in this at all anymore. The juiciness has been squoze out of it for me, I think, upside and downside. Wiz thinks CoreWeave may be an interesting one for a short-term trade. Taking a lot of profits from BBAI, that turned into an absolute ripper. That was an absolute ripper.
What was that BBA?
BBAI, yeah, one of Wiz's stocks. This thing just went absolutely nutty. Just absolutely ripped. So, yeah, much appreciation to Wizzo for that. Weeble as well is one I've been talking about on the stream for ages. That's now starting to turn around, obviously put in a nice bottoming pattern after a horrendous drop. But this is kind of the thing that you want from, if we look at it, say, on the 4-hour, this is the kind of thing we want from altcoins, isn't it? Obviously not to the same scale, because this thing's only like 2 months old. But obviously goes up really, really fast, comes down, drops down, distributes down, then puts in, a pretty standard bottoming pattern where you get accumulation, and then is actually now starting to turn around and run to the upside. So this is the kind of thing that we want from alts, is to now start that turnaround and start to run to the upside. But what else is happening in the market? GameStop is around $24 pre-market. MicroStrategy is down again, back down to $3.95 pre-market.
MicroStrategy is just basically Bitcoin. That there is no
it's literally just as well. I think because of the nature of borrowing that they've done and doing now, it's pretty much just like a leveraged Bitcoin, isn't it? Like, I would say it's leveraged Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin ever took, say, a 10% drop, I imagine MicroStrategy will get absolutely hammered now, given how leveraged to the eyeballs they are. But obviously, something like Robinhood, is just absolutely insane. You know, I looked at Robinhood, and you know, you look at that, obviously launched, and then it had, and this is the type of thing. Obviously now, for the period of time that we're in, you know, you're not going to get many of these now. But you know, this had a solid, basically 2 years of accumulation, nearly. Yeah, you know, just solid down there. You know, in between $7, $10, $11, $12, and is now up at $94 pre-market. And obviously, since you know the start of last year, has just been running constantly, just constant running, and obviously now into all-time highs. And obviously, this has got strong ties to crypto as well. You know, it's obviously primarily stocks, but offers Bitcoin, ETH trading. They're now offering perpetuals on the platform. So, you know, this is, you know, definitely something to look out for, is anything like this. And, you know, maybe Weeble's next one or that, I don't know. But that's already running now. So, yeah, I don't know. And that's what we discussed, weren't it, before the stream? You know, the thing with stocks is that because they've ran so hard now on a lot of them, it's kind of like they're not the position where you want to start taking spot positions on them. You probably want to do what Wiz is doing with, you know, either CFDs or options or whatever he does.
Yeah.
I had a short at 300 dead on. Got some juicy puts on it. Very nice, mate. Very nice. But yeah, please do make sure you get a like in on the stream. Make sure you get your comments in. If you do have any questions or tickers you want us to run through, get them into the chat. It would be great to run through whatever you guys want us to run through. What are your initial thoughts on July? Like, if you obviously had to say potentially what we're going to get in July, what would you say?
Well, everything, looking at it, you would say that one catalyst comes out. So obviously the other day we had the trade deal with China came out. It was like, done, dusted. It hasn't really done anything to the chart. I think everything is now hinging purely on when Powell opens his mouth at some point, it either intimates or cuts rates.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's the...
Yeah.
I cannot see any other catalyst that is going to be fire the starting gun for them to go bang. My personal view.
And I think potentially that's why we might just consolidate for the rest of summer now, because the next one's on the 30th of July, and then the Fed are done then until the middle of September.
But the thing is, even I can't remember what bank or banks or institutions it was the other day, but they upped their projections for 3 rate cuts from 2 for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But personally, I think Bitcoin exactly what Crypto Bro says. I think it's boiling nicely. I think it hits 120 in July.
Yeah. Thing is, though, I suppose you've got to also consider now. You know, maybe this is why Jerome Powell is the Fed, the chairman of the Fed, and I'm just sat here talking about him. But if you have had Trump calling you all names under the sun, publicly calling you an idiot, telling you that you should be sacked, telling you, you know, saying to everyone that you don't know what you're doing, you're an idiot. If you're Powell and you sat there, me personally, obviously the Fed don't have to cut, you know, they could hold pretty comfortably if they wanted to. But if you were sat there and this guy had been calling you all names under the sun, telling you you're an idiot, telling you that you have to do something that really you don't, you know, Powell can do what he wants, Trump's got no control over him. Would you then not have something in the back of your mind telling you what if I cut rates in July, it basically looks like Trump has forced him into it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think potentially, you know, if they are going to cut, obviously it may come in the. I think there's September, November, December, or it's September, October, December. There's one of them October or November months that aren't a meeting. I can't remember which one it is.
But it only takes him to even intimate.
Oh yeah.
that it's coming, and that might be the firing. But I'm bored of talking about it. To be honest with you. It's just it's such contrived, manipulated bullshit. But everything, like, you look at the whole macro cycle outside, like, way bigger than the crypto, and nothing makes sense. Everything's completely skewed from the normal cycle. So something bigger is happening, which is what I would say off the back of that. So
yeah, we're also in a really weird time frame where, you know, literally stocks don't go down. Like, you know, they got forced down because of the tariff uncertainty, but they literally don't go down. I mean, they have dips and then they're eaten up and then straight to new highs. It's really, like, strange, isn't it? How it's just permanent bullish conditions.
Yeah.
Crypto Bro is
it
in
just
the same.
shows that the money's there.
Yeah.
In which case, I let's see what today brings.
Obviously, first trading day of the month as well. You know, first trading day of the month, and then we have this ECB meeting where Powell is as well. Crypto Bro's on the same lines as you, though. He says new all-time high in July, and Wiz says the miners will do better than crypto. Now, that's obviously an interesting thing because of what's happened with CoreWeave. And I don't know if any others have, Wiz. Have any others actually rented their space out now to AI? But obviously the miners, you know, if you're looking at a position where you could, you know, there's potential here to maybe get a double whammy with miners, because if you're positioning into miners and Bitcoin goes to a new all-time high, obviously, you know, your quid's in, because then miners will get a push up. But obviously miners have the capabilities to convert some or even all of their operation to AI, given that they've already got the kit out, you know, they've already got the space, they've already got all the machines working, which is obviously why CoreWeave ran so hard. So I don't know. Obviously, we will probably just at some point get news that, you know, a miner has done the same thing as CoreWeave. I don't know exactly how many miners there are that are public. What are all? Let's go and have a look. Let's ask Rock.
Marathon. What's it called? Big Deal.
Yeah.
A few others.
Let's see. All right, let's ask Rock. So we got Marathon. Let's just say list the trading tickers. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, you got all these. So, you know, you could have a position into all of them, or you might get lucky. But all these are the publicly traded Bitcoin miners that, you know, have the potential to transition into AI, which, you know, obviously may give a very decent push. But yeah, I don't know. Personally, I don't hold any Bitcoin miners. Do you, mate?
No.
No.
I am, like I say, right now, I am holding my my crypto bags. Then, as and when it does its thing, hopefully one day, I'm out, and then I won't actually, once it hits my TPs, I will be out, and then I will not be investing anything at all until we get the stock market crash, which is and will happen within the next 12 months.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
Until then,
Iron.
I'm not getting it.
Okay, so apparently, yeah, there's a few missing on that iron cores. Bit D missing off that as well. I'm gonna make a stock. I want a section in here with Bitcoin mining stocks. So I'll have to do that at some point. I might do that today, or maybe we'll do it on stream tomorrow or something. But I want to just get them all listed, all there, so we can have a look. But yeah, obviously, yeah, they're very well positioned to transition over to AI if they want to. So, you know, you would imagine they will get a potential 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5x on their stock price if they do that. You know, CoreWeave ran about 6x, I think, in the end.
Just
Obviously,
as a heads up, Dave, we've got 30 seconds until.
Oh, do we? Well, let's go and see. So, in the end, it was up. People thinking that we're going up on US Open. Let's see what we get.
4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so stock market's open down.
There we go. Well, it's open. And of course, it's closed on Friday this week. So
yeah, well, this was one of my other theories, Dave. Was I wonder if we get 4th of July pump fireworks. It'd be quite ironic, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it would. Yeah, it's just Friday, isn't it? I think it's just Friday.
It's just Friday. The thing is, it's like say now we've got the BOJ, Bank of England, Powell. Excuse me, all talking. So we might get some volume there. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't even realise that it was Independence Day on Friday.
Yeah. But we have got, like say, Jolts and ISM in 29 minutes. So could expect some fun and games at that juncture.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very interesting time in the market, that's for sure.
Just give us something that's positive. I do think off the back of this, what's going to happen is because any sort of pump that we get on all coins, you're going to have people FOMOing into shorts.
Yeah.
I can see people just getting obliterated with shorts at some point. But then I do think, because the thing is, normally you would have like the summer months where the bankers disappear and everything goes quiet. So like you were saying, it could go sideways. Now, if you was, what would make sense in price action wise would be run up, consolidate over the summer when the volume drops off. So you get a leg up, consolidate, so you can build the liquidity in the meantime. September uses your manipulation month that comes down like it normally does, and then maybe that gives you then your push into Q4 of where things run parabolic. That's just me using some potential rationale, not financial advice, obviously.
Yeah, I mean it makes perfect sense. Yeah, we definitely could see that. I think where in terms of obviously the stock market would you expect how deep do you think the crash would go? Obviously it would probably depend on where it eventually ended up topping out to give the actual depth in terms of percentage. But is there anywhere you look on a chart and thinking that looks juicy? I mean, obviously straight away, this $3,500 levels, obviously a juicy point.
So the marker that I use for the stock market and measuring potential crashes, we have triggered the clock to say that a crash is impending.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the when was it, the 1980s stock market crash, this is the deepest we've gone on the yield curve across.
Yeah.
So we could have a biblical kind of pullback. So when was COVID in January 20? That was 30. I could see minimum 40% pullback.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look then at the actual stocks, so if you look at Amazon, for example, I have on my charts, let's quickly just measure this move. So 40% on Amazon to get you down to one of the price voids that I have, which is around about 140.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Nvidia could be mental. I have on my Nvidia charts pull back to 70%. Yeah.
The thing is, eventually, it will return to some form of starting point, won't it?
Yes.
It's not just like a magic. It's not just like a magic thing that it's just like resistance constantly. Like, is it literally just going to go up only now for the next 5-10 years? No. So it will eventually return to some form of starting point. Yeah.
But the thing is, obviously the tech companies are running hot. You've got to think that the way their charts look, we're going to get like a dot-com bubble at some point, crash for those stocks. And so what did Intel do at dot-com?
And it's not actually anything, obviously, unless you're worried, in that scenario, you're thinking, oh God, I don't want that to happen because of this and that. But as a buyer, it would be the golden opportunity of probably, the next 10-15 years, wouldn't it?
Well, my plan would be, right, so Intel, when we pulled back, was just over 53% pullback, and that took 231 days.
Yeah. It'll take a while, won't it? It will take a while to this. We will get these bounces, and then people will think, right, that's it, it's over, and then it will carry on down and down and down.
But that wasn't the whole thing. Then it kind of had a little rally, and then it went down. So it rallied, bounced 70% from the bottom, and then had another pullback of another 65%. So it will get obliterated at some point. But for me, I very much hope to be cash rich at that juncture, because we know that it's potentially coming. I'll tell you what has been utterly ruined this morning is Tesla. Surprise, surprise, with his argument with Trump. So I would be, hopefully, all crypto would be cashed out at that point, and I would be sitting on a pile of cash, and I would then look to, which is a similar situation to what I was in during COVID, and then bought blue chip stocks, energy companies, stuff like that, at a 50% discount, and then just held them for 18 months, doubled your money. Then you can either rotate it into the bottom of the crypto market, hopefully, or you just rotate into ETFs and then just live off the yields of that until the next cycle kind of goes round. That's my plan, generally speaking.
And that is definitely a solid plan. Big Guru says bullish or bearish, and then Short Video Guru says piggish. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll have to introduce another one for this sideways Bitcoin consolidation if it continues. It's not bullish or bearish, it's just piggish. I don't know. Maybe we could call it piggish because obviously the market makers are just going after liquidity constantly up and down, being greedy. So we could call it piggish. Harish says Sol. Let's see. Where are we with Sol?
I've not looked at Sol for so long. My interest in Sol is literally one thing, and get it back towards 300, and then it'll be Solana season all over again.
Yeah, so Sol, again, as we've discussed, definitely covered this a few times on stream over the past week or so. And we did trade into this supply zone again. So obviously here is supply. We come into it in mid-June, come into supply, sold off. We then come into it again yesterday, is that? Yeah, yesterday. Come into it again, into supply, and we've sold off again on.
Yeah,
so this is the supply
zone. I've got supply around about 158 to 162.
Yeah.
I think that is the level to go in, personally. But then for true bullishness, I think we need to get above 183.
Yeah. I've got that drawn out as well. I think this would be a little bit of a minor low time frame one as well, around 167. That may offer some inconvenience, 167/168. But we need to get above this supply zone here, and then that may offer a little bit of inconvenience. But obviously the biggie, above 182, 183 ish. You were looking at. I've got 200 to 210 then as the next kind of obstacle potentially.
Yeah, I think that you've got that weekly consolidation from March, basically March to all of March. We get above that, which is 203. Then I think you'll see. Personally, I think once we get above 182, 183, I think you'll see a push to the all-time highs quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is just going off of my thesis that we don't allow people to get in.
Yeah.
That's personally. So after a rally at the start, Bitcoin is coming down.
Yes, we dropped back down towards the current daily lows. But yeah, I think
105 to 106 is kind of if we there's a lot of demand there. So if we can jam the price in there with a quick wick, you could see the breakout of Bitcoin as early as today.
Yeah. So just a game of patience again, unfortunately for everyone. Unless you are, obviously currently the best thing, if you are just waiting for your spot bags to do anything, it is a great time to be scalping, or at least looking for some low time frame trades to hold on to for not very long.
Spending some time learning, and don't get too depressed about it. If you've got a plan for your spot bags, personally, I would, unless it's a very, very strong project or you've got big tail on it, I would be looking first port of call of like November, December highs for all coins to look to take some profits, and then see what the market's looking like from there. Anyone that goes, well, crypto Twitter has said it's going to $1,000 for Solana. Take it with a pinch of salt, just play it sensible.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get stressed about it. Just
I don't think it would go. I don't.
Set alerts, set TPs. Be really, 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 really careful of leverage trading, because I still think that this is easy money for exchanges to just kind of liquidate it.
Yeah.
What do you think of the whole? Is the James Wynn thing still ongoing, Dave?
I've not heard anything. Has anyone else? I don't know. I mean, it's my personal opinion, and obviously I don't know this out of any fact or anything. It's just my opinion. Is that whole thing was just a marketing stunt by Hyperliquid, just a complete. Because if you look, he was obviously started off. I think that wallet started off with about 2-3 mil or something, didn't it? Originally, and then he ran it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether obviously he maybe knew that Bitcoin was going to run up during that time or what, but I think the whole thing was because if you look as well, if you look as well, he's just started shilling his Hyperliquid referral link relentlessly.
Yeah.
Which is kind of just like, obviously it just got loads of attention on Hyperliquid, probably took loads of traders over there.
Yeah.
It was almost like the perfect marketing, the perfect marketing plan.
I would say marketing and also slight, probably set up by some of the market makers as well, or he was hedged elsewhere. There's no way anybody would be trading that sort of size and then bragging about it with the liquidation prices and stuff like that.
Not in public. I mean, when you get up to 70, 80 mil, you don't, in that scenario, one, you can literally just go and do whatever you want forever. You don't have to do anything else. But two, you could then go, right, okay, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to go and trade, off chain. I don't want everyone to see me potentially lose all this.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't care who you are as an individual and stuff like that. Those kind of profits, you would be taking profit. Don't care who you are.
Oh God, yeah. You would
as an individual, unless you're like Elon Musk and you go, okay, right, if I lose 100 million here, it don't really matter because I've just earned that back in about 3 seconds anyway. So to me, it's pure and utter nonsense yet again, crypto space.
Yeah, I can't see how someone would be in that mindset of willing to lose it all, especially publicly.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. But I've not seen much or heard much on him. It's kind of just like happened and then disappeared on it. But I do believe he's a real person, isn't he? Like I do believe that it's actually like verified he is a real person. I think, unless he's not, I don't know. But I do believe he's actually meant to be a real person anyway.
Yeah.
And not just some made up character by potentially Hyperliquid or whoever.
So did you say you're going away, Dan? Soon?
I am on holiday from
Stonksy on tour.
Yeah. So a week today will be my last stream for 2 weeks, and then Save with Crypto will be stepping in every day for me. Very kind of him to take over the streams for me while I'm away.
Very nice.
So yeah, looking forward to the break. Looking forward to having a rest and just chilling, and enjoying life.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel like I need a break. Yeah, feel like I'm ready for a break. So I look forward to it.
How's the
What about you?
trading?
When are you next off? Off away anywhere?
We go away on the 25th. So, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, we are off to Italy and Croatia. But obviously Europe, as well as the UK, have got this unbelievable heat wave at the moment. So I think it's like 40 odd degrees in some places, which is
insane, isn't it? Yeah, because there comes a point where it's too hot. When I went to Vegas, obviously it's great in that, but at a point it is too hot to do anything. So like, you walk down the streets and you're just instantly dripping in sweat.
It's unpleasant.
Yeah, and so it's lovely up to a certain point, and then it does become unpleasant where you're like, right, it's great, but I actually want to be able to walk somewhere without not feeling like I'm dying.
I've been in like Dubai and stuff, and it's mid-40s, and you can't walk anywhere, and it's just too much. Unpleasant.
But of course, it's actually pretty insane. But once July and August is out the way, it'll be time to start thinking about our plans for Zebu, won't it?
Yes.
If everyone is still coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully by then everyone will be nice and happy.
Yeah. I think as well. Yeah, I think we will hopefully get some people coming to do the night before as well. Obviously, it was good. It was good the night before as well. Me and a couple of friends who you know of went for a few drinks, but yeah, it should be awesome. That should be a good time, and it's fast approaching already. Bought some Amazon 225 for tomorrow expiry, 232.5 for next week. So that's directly from Wiz there.
So I need to speak to Wiz offline and understand what that actually means.
Yeah, I think option.
I'm going to create a little special side group.
Yeah, create a group with me, you, Wiz in it, and Wiz can just tell us what he's doing, and we can just make money.
Yeah.
Literally just copy trade Wiz on stocks. Wiz just drop it in saying I'm doing this and be like, right, okay.
Yeah.
So am I.
So Dave, my father-in-law just sent me an external thermometer. Okay. In the shade, 38 degrees.
Wow. Where is he?
Just literally 2 minutes down the road from where I live.
Oh, wow. 38. I wish it was 38. That's insane. You're literally nearly double what I am.
Yeah.
And it's not that much of a difference to be like that much difference in temperature, is it? Like the distance isn't that far.
No. I'm actually, as soon as I finish with you, I think I'm going to jump in the pool. Or I was actually saying to the wife this morning that we've got like a chest freezer in the garage with like ice and stuff in it. Might just go and sit in there. And sit in the ice.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Token 2049 and 44 wasn't fun. Stonksy update is live. Oh, okay. So the Stonksy update is live for everyone. So the update that I mentioned last week on the oscillator is live. So if you come over and you go onto your Stonksy oscillator and you click the 3 dots and say update this script, it will update it to the latest script for you. And then you will have the update. Now, I have filmed a video in preparation for this, so it is in the draft, ready to go out. So I will get that published straight after the stream for you. So watch out on the YouTube channel. But yeah, go and update your script on the oscillator if you haven't. And yeah, the video will be out, and I think SMFC will you be publishing a Medium post? Will you, Dean? Dave, I can send you a pic of my van dashcam temp being 41 right now, says Cryptogenic. Essex weather. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
41.
Yeah, that's where I'm in Essex as well. Cryptogenic.
Yeah.
So 38.
Dropped a banger signal in Stonksy Discord yesterday for everyone. Everyone needs to join. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Wiz is dropping some bangers in the Stonksy Discord. He really is. And SMFC says I'll be making one. Yeah. So that's live. You've put a message, haven't you, in the Discord? But yeah, go and update it, and yeah, my video will be live. That's the stream. Yeah, I mean, I wish it was that hot up here. That would be nice. That.
Oh, Dave, honestly, you don't. It's just miserable. Luckily, we've got air conditioning in the bedroom, but not the rest of the house.
Yeah.
So it's very warm. But
tell you what, though, if this keeps up as being like a yearly thing, you might have to get it kitted out. Them Mitsubishi ACs.
Yeah, I think that's
you have to get it just completely flowing through the whole house.
Mate,
go full American style.
What I really need is it just blowing on my undercarriage area.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's really where the real sweat is. Well, I don't know about you, but when it starts becoming this hot, my boxes stay in the drawer. They do not leave the drawer. They do not enter onto my body. It's just short and nothing underneath.
Bit of circulation.
Yeah, Cryptogenic says check. Bloody hell, yeah, it is 42 degrees on Cryptogenic's car temperature reading or van. Wiz is gone. Have a good one. See you later, legend. Bye bye. But yeah, absolutely fascinating. I mean, we're not getting really too much on the markets. We've had a run up on S&P on open, so that's had a good couple of candles.
You've got 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes until Jolts and ISM, and that's when things probably start going nuts.
Yeah, and Powell starts speaking soon, isn't it, as well?
I don't know, I'm just looking on Bloomberg.
Yeah, I'm sure it's soon.
Really, really unattractive Christine Lagarde is talking. He's president. Looking for capital flow, blah, 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 blah. Denmark Central Bank urges lenders to borrow more to ease rates. Yeah. It's just all setting up. I don't know what time Powell's actually speaking, or if he is actually speaking.
I did put it into the newsletter. Let's see. I did put it into the newsletter. Let's pull it up. So newsletter went out today. I think he's speaking now.
Yeah.
2:30. Our time.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but I've got Bloomberg on. Oh, he's with. So basically, it's like a little sit-down thing. So it's that Christine Lagarde, Jerome Powell's on there now. So Powell says wouldn't take any meeting off the table, depends on data.
Yeah, he's also said that a solid majority at the Fed expect rate cuts later this year. But he cannot say whether July is too soon to consider cutting rates. So that's a bit of an interesting comment.
Yeah. It's all shaking up.
A solid majority. He says a solid majority at the Fed. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there anyway. Obviously,
We've got.
Or should we wait for this
jolt
jolt?
for the next 70 seconds and just see what happens when
yeah, let's hang around then. Yeah, let's hang around.
The jolt news hits. So what is this actual forum? Central Banking Forum.
Let's see what's going to happen.
What do you reckon? Big candles, Dave? Place your bets now.
I think it'd go back down.
I say we get some volume.
Yeah, I think it'll go back down from where it's spiked up. Well, I say spiked up. So we're really not actually done that much, has it, since it opened? It's only an extra $50. Well, let's see.
Continues to be an easing cycle. 10 seconds. Here we go. ISM coming out.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Go.
No. Do something. Do something. Do something.
And it's done nothing.
Yeah. Nothing too exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nothing too exciting. But Bitcoin's looking like maybe it wants to carry on up. But yeah, thanks for coming on again, mate. It's great to have you back.
Pleasure, mate. I shall see you next week.
Yes, you will. Greatly look forward to it. Everyone, make sure you say a big thank you to Justin in the chat for spending his time with us. We'll have him on again next week.
And
yeah,
hopefully, if we do get a bullish push, I might be here to do some animal noises next week.
Yeah, there we go. We might get a roar next week. We'll make Save with Crypto do it tomorrow anyway. We'll make him do it regardless.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is getting a push now. To be fair, a little bit delayed, but now that data's out of the way, it is getting a little bit of a push.
Yeah,
so that's good to see. But yeah, thank you everyone.
Lovely to see you, mate.
And bye bye.
See you everyone. Bye.